Greetings, you've landed at the VUC, IP Communications and VoIP community. We would like to thank Simwood.com for their support. Simwood can turn you as a developer into a telco. Our hosted PBX is from onsip.com, and you can go to getonsip.com for a URL people can click to call you. We've been privileged over the last 5 years to be using the best conference bridge on the planet. Yes, I'm talking about zipdx.com, full color, full featured, full HD conference bridge. Our website, vuc.me on the webs, hosted by bluehost.com. And our worldwide local rate dial-ins are from voxbone.com. All right, Mr. Andy Smith has confirmed that YouTube is live. Actually, he confirmed that MP3 is good, but we hope that YouTube is live. And this is VUC 587 for 2016, April 1st. Couple of quick announcements, as is our custom. TADHack Mini London, April 9th through 10th. Who dared to bring that in to my clean... All right, anyway. And also, Comedia World, Berlin, Germany, in May 18th to 20th. Many of us will be there. And furthermore, and I'm looking for my cam-only thing. Furthermore, we're going to be talking about ClueCon, which is, I believe, in August. And we're talking FreeSWITCH, and we're talking... Tim is telling me something, but I've got so many screens open I can't actually see his messages yet. We're going to turn it over to the FreeSWITCH people, and they are going to start by saying what they've got to say about FreeSWITCH and also ClueCon. I don't have a slide for ClueCon, so take it away, Ken, or whoever's in charge over there.
All right, guys. How y'all doing this morning? So we've got the whole crew here today. You got me up here in the corner. You got
you're all upside
Mike,
down.
Brian,
You're all upside
Tony.
down. Hello.
No, we would never be upside down.
Yeah, by the way,
what are you talking about? Looks fine to me.
Let me mention that we started this. We weren't quite ready. All right, now we're. Looks like this is great. So you're privy to the green room here. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let me let Ken and the FreeSWITCH team take over here. Go ahead, guys and ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you guys can see here, we've got the whole crew here today. Tony's having some fun over there. As with always, you know, we try to release something new April 1st every year, a useful or somewhat tongue-in-cheek tool. So as you can see there, Tony's been having fun with that already. But I think a big thing today for FreeSWITCH is we're pulling the trigger on FreeSWITCH 1.6.7. And I'll let some of the other guys talk about that more, but that's an update release on the 1.6 branch, and there is just a ton of bug fixes. I think in my nice large browser, it's about 3 pages full of stuff on the changelog. So, you know, I'll let the other guys do that. But all you guys know us here, so we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and I think I'll let somebody else take over on my side. Who wants to go?
I do, of course.
Go ahead, Tony.
So anyway, if you remember, in 2013 we introduced Virto. In 2015 we introduced our video support, and now here we are in 2016 where we have merged the two together. We have a fully functional Virto communicator app that uses the Virto protocol and all the video features that we think are necessary for a stable release. So our 1.6 is basically feature complete at this point, and the first release since then is coming out today. So 1.6.7 will be released, and from there we're going to be looking forward to our 1.8 release, hopefully beta or alpha sometime around summer, ClueCon time. And speaking of ClueCon, we have a lot of new stuff for ClueCon planned. I'd like to go and let some of the other guys talk about it.
Brian.
All right, so this year for ClueCon, we've kind of expanded what we're doing on our hackathon. We're going to be integrating some of the IoT elements of some of the stuff you've seen. In addition, we have a 3D printer manufacturer coming. We're working on a couple more of those, so we're going to have some of the makerspace elements integrated into the hackathon, which should add some fun. In addition to that, some of the Arduino elements. We're going to see how we can tie all of these things together and, kind of make the hackathon, last year was great, but we want to make it even better this year. We took a lot of input from everybody that attended, everybody that was involved, and we want to take that input and take it to the next level. So now is the time that if you guys have any ideas, input, want to get involved with the planning, reach out to Kathleen or myself via marketing@cluecon.com. We can help you guys out to take an idea and bring it into the hackathon and make it a reality. So that's where we're at right now on ClueCon. Registration is open. Call for speakers is out. So if you guys have ideas for talks, don't hesitate to submit more than one, because you could, we'll let the best of the best bubble up. You could be an alternate or secondary. If we have space, we could put somebody in, if the talks go quicker than normal, which has happened, or, somebody doesn't show up, which also has happened. So I invite everybody to get their talks submitted. If you haven't registered, you can do so now. You can register now and pay later, so you don't have to worry about your expense report or any of that stuff until July 1, which is the week that everything comes due. That helps me with my planning, my logistics for lunch, to make sure everybody gets fed and we have enough seating for everyone. So please register. Kathleen will be announcing a discount code for you guys to use that's available for today until Monday to get a discount to get registered. And that's pretty much my report right now.
Maybe the 12th time's a charm and we'll see Randy there.
That's true. Hopefully we'll see Randy there.
Are we too early to ask questions?
By all means, ask questions.
I'm very interested in this 3D printer and what might be available to, in terms of interfacing to the damn thing, with things like dangerous demos.
I think Ken has a good dangerous demo that we're working on. I think we're going to have Mr. Bodie involved in this one.
Yeah, so I'll just tease that real quick. This might have something to do with it, but we're not going to show too much of that and let people wonder what that is later.
What the hell was that? I missed it. It was far too quick.
It wouldn't be a shocking
demo.
Okay,
I'll give you another little hint right here. It may or may not be, but we will be taking dangerous there. But also at the same point in time, some of the other things that you may see along there are, I'll go ahead and show this real quick. This is a prototype that's underway that we will be having there to play with. And as you can see, there is cameras and touch screens and Raspberry Pis and some custom electronics along with that. And to give you a little hint, I don't want to show everything off, but not yet. But some 3D printable bits may or may not look like this, as a little hint as to what's going on with the rest of these plastics here. But we do have a 3D printer manufacturer. They're going to bring printers. We have at least one printer to give away to an attendee at this point. We're working on more than that. And the printers will be available during the hackathon for you to print things on. So we'll be doing some stuff along those lines. As part of that, we might see something like these guys, and we all know these are Raspberry Pis. At ClueCon, we may see something along the line of Arduinos for people to play with in the hardware area of the hackathon. So we're working on a lot of different things like that. So to see what really happens there, you guys have to come out and show up.
And to expand on what he was talking about for the hardware, the MakerFest, we're gonna have a table with entry-level projects for little Arduinos, and step-by-step docs for how to actually use an Arduino, go through, read from sensors, control LED lights, interact with third-party APIs like Twitter. So if the build a phone and some of the 3D printing stuff is a little bit over your head, there's going to be a nice, fun entry-level electronics in Maker. We're also going to be having a fun SMS bot. So anybody out there who's had fun voting and trying to hack the SMS system, we're putting a little bit of time into this one, so it'll be a little bit more challenging to attack. But we're going to have a bot with full shortcode APIs. More information on that to follow. But we're going to be showing off SIP simple functionality for SMS handling in FreeSWITCH. Could be doing SMPP endpoint examples. There's something in the works with a FlowRoute SMS module for FlowRoute's new SMS API. So keep your eye out on the social media side of things, and you'll get some very interesting updates as we get closer.
And there'll be
on
something
that
for.
note,
Go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, if you're not already following us on Twitter, liking us on Facebook, subscribing to the YouTube channel and the mailing list, and joining the conversation on HipChatter IRC, go do that. This is where you will get all the updates in real time as we have them. And I have a special registration code for ClueCon for this VUC call. It is ClueCon 2016 VUC. So if you use that, you'll get a special discount today and this weekend on your ClueCon registration. So go out and get registered. Brian?
And I was going to say the hackathon is going to have something for everyone from beginner to advanced. So show up, get involved. It's going to be a lot of fun. Because last year we were a little light on the beginner stuff, and I think we're going to address that. That was one of the comments we had. So we're going to address that and have a little bit of everything there.
So I think we'll have a pile of APIs there this year also. So
yeah, we'll have the APIs like we had last year, a big stack of those to go with. So the sponsor APIs are going to be a fun component of the hackathon as well. And
yeah,
again,
we'll
the sponsors will have their, we'll have some news, but the sponsors have their own giveaways as well on top of what we're giving away in the hackathon. So stay tuned on those as we get those locked down and the information from our sponsors. Those will go out on Twitter, Facebook. So follow us so you can keep the updates on what's going to be available as prizes for the hackathon.
Yeah.
Hey folks, Michael asked a question, and the answer to this could go out to other people who are listening to this through so many different ways, because we have so many channels. We've got an MP3, we've also got a thing called VUC.audio, and Michael asked, what do I dial to join the FSMCU via the web, actually he meant WebRTC client. Go ahead.
Yeah, so normally, as he said, you would dial 888, but because we're doing this live here and to keep random interruptions down, Randy, I've locked that bridge for right now.
Okay.
Because we do get random people calling in here on a regular basis. So, yeah, I locked it so that we would not have any undue surprises.
Well, on the other hand, if you announce it via audio, I see James Bodie ranting there somehow. But if you announce it via audio, there's a rather limited audience. But okay, you got it locked down. Fine. You guys are so popular.
We can unlock it here in a little bit.
Well,
we can unlock it here in a little bit.
Of a couple of minutes.
Get all your serious business done, then unlock it and see what happens.
Right. Right. Think of it as a dangerous demo.
That coming from James kind of makes me concerned. What do you have planned there, Mr. Bodie?
Well, guys, do we want to unlock it and let some others join in that way?
Unlock it and let some others get in here and partake in the fun that is the FreeSWITCH Virtual Communicator.
Throw it into
so
the
if you guys want to join, it's so I'll throw this into the VUC IRC channel, but it's HTTPS conference.freeswitch.org, and then VC's Victor Charles, and you'll want to call, once you get logged in there, you'll get a dial pad. You'll want to call 888.
Okay, well, what about people who want to come in and sip VoIP?
Now, if you want to call in with SIP, it's just simply SIP 888 at conference.freeswitch.org.
Okie dokie.
What I was wondering.
Now, it sounds like we got a little bit of an echo.
You shouldn't have an echo through anything I'm doing. I've got there. Kill that off.
I think it was JB.
This is I'm sharing this, the output of my Mac, through a novel in a different way, and I was just wondering if it was going to achieve a higher frame rate than the Hangout desktop share does.
Looks nice.
Yeah, but we've got room for a pile of people on here. This, I think we've had upwards of 30 or 40 people in here on the bridge all at one time with video, along with the mix of people dial in, SIP, and other mechanisms. So, I mean, we keep DIDs on this bridge. Obviously, stereo audio, full 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second. And you know, we have the RTMP capabilities to stream this out to YouTube or any other RTMP relay server. So you know, all that stuff just built into it. A lot of this is rehashing some of the things that we've talked about before on the VUC. But as you can see on our video feeds here, like up in the corner here, I've got the little FSTV overlay, and then down below, the lower third is generated directly in the MCU.
Can I ask a question?
It's all software settable. Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Can I ask a question? And this is for Ken and everybody who's a part of your team. This is for you folks, though. And that is, I just renewed a bunch of our domains and certificates and stuff to 2020. 2020 is about 4 years, almost 4 years from now. I would love to hear your comments. I mean, you folks have been in it since the very beginning of, I mean, Brian, I don't even want to mention, I can't remember the Asterlink, I mean, and before, you folks have been in since the Pioneer days. We're talking about 4 years from now. I'm very curious to hear from you about what you think is going to be happening in 2020. Is anybody ready to address that question? What do you see as being important or interesting, or what are we going to be talking about in 2020? Anybody have any ideas?
I think we'll still be custom fax machines.
Yeah, I was going to say, as much as we'd like, faxes will still be here.
And DTMF problems.
I think in reality, voice has already become very much just a commodity. Video will go from being the new exciting thing that everyone's doing, even though it's been around forever, but now that it's more accessible to people, video will become commoditized in the next 4 years the same way voice is now commoditized.
Yeah, I think
really, I mean, kind of the FaceTime environment where, but I mean, we everyone made phone calls, then everyone texted. People use FaceTime to stay connected to their families, you know, over long distances. My kid's in a relationship with someone in Brazil, and you know, they basically talk 3 times, 4 times a week for hours on, you know, video. These things are going to become the kind of the normal ways we communicate.
They're already becoming that way.
Yeah, this whole team, this bridge we're in right now, is our office. I mean, you can see we're all spread out, but this bridge is really our office, and we will all sit, you know, sometimes in complete silence and work on things separately, and then turn around to, hey, Tony, can we, you know, talk about this or that.
Is your bridge
that's
up?
Going to be commoditized.
Is your bridge up internally 24? I mean, 24, or at least the time. You're all in the United States, I think. So, is the bridge up all the time when most people are awake?
The bridge
probably average 12 to 15 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably when there's someone in here. I think we broke off last night. what time did you guys hang out? I dropped off around, what, 11:30 or 12 last night in the end after chasing down those last couple issues. I think Ken called in at 7:30 Eastern this morning. So, I mean, yeah, we cover probably close to 18 hours a day.
So the bridge is up.
Somebody,
there's like silence for hours, and then somebody says, "Hey, we have to fix this thing, or we got to do this." Is that how that works? It's a water cooler.
I mean, it's a little bit more fluid than that. It runs the whole range of what you would expect from 5 people sitting in an open office space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From people working quietly to people, portions of the people loudly arguing about, the way to do this or that, or trying to troubleshoot a problem together, sitting next to each other.
Or making fun of the latest craziness in the news, any number of things.
Random banter. I mean,
answering their cell phone and you hearing only one half of the conversation.
Our workflow works very much like if we were in an open plan office with all of the good and the bad that comes from an open plan office.
Yes. And there's a lot of things that we'll do sometimes. It's like, hey, check this thing out, and nobody's looking at the video, and it'll be like, no, look at the video. See, look what I did, and and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
It's a different. It does add a dimension that a lot of us probably didn't realize that we were hindered when we had audio only. When you have video, you can tell, oh, Ken is not at his desk, or Kathleen there sitting with her mic muted because you see the little red glowy thing at the end of her mic, and if you see her talking, you'll know that, hey, Kathleen, are you talking? Are you muted? And so on and so forth. So those elements you don't have on audio only.
Yeah, and you can see that Michael.
For example, we can see Ken had to answer his cell phone.
Yeah, Ken just really took a call in the middle of it. That's classic.
It's very cool. Can we get an idea?
Yeah, well, it's perfect time to demo that.
Can we get an idea of the I'm trying to picture as a radar screen where everybody is. What is the circle that would be? You're all in the United States, right? No. You're all in the U.S., right?
All of us.
But
we're all
how many
over.
time zones?
So, all 4.
All 4 time zones. Okay.
All 4 per CONUS.
Who's in Mountain Time? We don't have anyone in Mountain Time.
Well, no, we don't have anybody in Mountain Time, but we cover.
No, Ken just lumps that into Pacific Time.
Yeah.
Mountain Time is included.
Yeah, the only one that really matters is Central Time Zone. No.
Yeah.
Somebody's in Pacific, somebody's in Eastern.
Central's the big one.
Yeah, we've got 2 in Pacific, 1 in Eastern, 3 in Central.
Okay.
So that's why Central is more important.
So you've covered the United States. All right, that's it. So that's already 3,000 miles, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like 2 inches on my screen. I mean, I literally will just turn and say, hey, Tony, what do you think about this? As if he's sitting next to me. And it seems weird, but we really do sit in the same room every day.
Right.
And the sun never sets on the FreeSWITCH Empire.
And then this is our core guys. Yeah, we've got people we deal with probably daily in Brazil, in China,
Italy,
France.
Yeah.
Can we get into that a little bit? Are you talking about people who are contributing code or customers or what?
Oh yeah.
So I did some stats. So we were here right after we released 1.6.0. So that was, what, 6-7 months ago. Since then, we've done 4 releases of 1.6 and another 1.4 release. There's been about 1,000 commits to our tree since then. There's been about 70, a little bit more than 70 contributors of code since then. Hundreds and hundreds of bug fixes, about 1,000 JIRAs we've gone through since that period of time. We have automated builds for Windows, CentOS, Debian, I think 6 different flavors of Debian. and we have a dozen build nodes with more on the way, and I think 7 platforms that we literally build on every single commit to do testing on.
I noticed there's
what
no
else do we have?
TRS-80 builds, though.
No, not yet. We're actually looking to add. ARM HF builds before long, and routine Ubuntu builds and packages. So there's actually an active project on that to get officially supported Ubuntu packages. So once we do that, we'll start building. We'll add more equipment to the build cluster to handle, Ubuntu, and then obviously everybody loves these little Raspberry Pis, so we're going to add ARM-HF packages sometime in the near to midterm. On that, we're working on that.
It's really fantastic. I don't know if people realize the whole structure of this stuff and how there's like 50,000 different platforms that you could be building for, and you have to choose the ones that you actually need to. But it's great. This makes me so happy.
Well, go ahead, Mike.
In the last 6 months, I did a look at what platforms that we've had where we worked on it, we've had contributions, and it is Debian, CentOS, Ubuntu, multiple BSDs, Solaris, multiple variations, Windows, OS X, and Raspbian.
Not bad.
Oh, that's not all. I've not in Tree, but I've done Archer C7 builds. Ken, are there any others that?
Somebody did an Apple iOS build a while ago. I doubt it's been updated anytime soon. So, but yeah. So our problem is, as a stated project goal, is we're cross-platform. So because we say that, everybody expects us to support their platform.
One of the drivers there is if we've got somebody who has a platform that they want to use, if they get involved, if they can just test it, we can usually get those added pretty quick. So most of the platforms that we listed off, we had somebody in the community who really wanted it and was willing to actually go through and assist.
Yeah.
The vast majority of those, like we focus on Debian. Personally, I do a lot of work on OS X, so I make sure that works. Windows is kind of a collaboration between our core team and the community. BSD and Solaris have been 100% community driven, and then I've helped them resolve issues. Raspbian is a camp project.
Yeah.
No, I like the idea.
There's just so much you can do with it.
I love the idea of running FreeSWITch on my iPhone, though. That one tickles me.
James.
It'd be great. You know how fast it could kill your battery. If we could have instead of 3-legged races, we'll have burn out the iPhone battery contests.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's possible, but don't think it should ever be done.
Yeah. Seriously. We should probably ask at this point if there's any questions from ZipDX. I haven't even been looking over there, but there's a James Bodie over there, of course. But
well, bear in mind
also
also that the FreeSWITch audio is coming off of ZipDX, so
right.
They're
there. But does anybody else have any questions? Because we're there.
I've got a quick question. I noticed that the user interface has evolved yet again. Every time I see this, it gets slightly better, and I know, Anthony, you've spent a lot of time just doing with it, and I'd love to see some more of the advanced things. Like if we look at Michael's view is completely different to the one that's coming from Ken, and I'm not quite sure.
Usually not that different.
Well, it's got.
I'm switching between them right now, and they actually look pretty much the same.
Well, I've got a bar going down.
We can fix that.
Yeah, Ken can probably turn them everybody upside down or something.
I may not have that turned off. I mean, that's the the web client, and I suppose there's a way to turn it off if I need to, right?
Yeah, if you hover over, buttons pop up in the top left corner.
Yeah.
So if you move over to the video.
hover
Yeah.
over?
So actually, what you're seeing from my feed is the web client. It's just in full screen mode.
Yeah.
And then it's shared actually through the Google Hangout screen share.
Yeah,
It's
so
very nicely
over if you go back over the video, the icons pop up on the left, and that
on the left.
second,
Okay,
1, 2,
right there. Oh,
3,
there we go.
that
There you
one.
go. Okay, there you go.
nicely done.
So this
So
this that I'm sharing is the output of my Mac being hauled over the network via a protocol called NDI into vMix, and I wanted to see what the frame rate was going to be because it's a great way of doing sort of a software-centric way of doing screen sharing between systems that doesn't require Hangout complicity.
Yeah, how complicated can we get now? And traditionally, when we hook up things with FreeSWITCH, everything traditionally has gone horribly wrong, but everything's working today. Why is that?
I mean, part
April
of that-
Fools, it's all actually broken.
Well, I can see one thing that's
They
broken.
just drugged you to think it was working right.
I can see what's broken, and that's Michael Jerris's washing machine. The
Too
only
bad
one
Andy
who's
didn't put Mickey in your
not
drink.
in uniform today, Michael.
But you could also
I
notice
couldn't find my
that.
shirt. It's up there.
Yeah, you could also notice that Anthony has a either his video is not switched round, or he has a different shirt to everyone else.
No.
Let's see. No, everyone's
No,
got
his
the
is
same
his
shirt.
is just different than every. No, Tony's the printing is on the other side.
Right. Okay.
You'll notice it's not video because you
Oh,
can actually
right.
read it properly.
Right.
Tony just has to be different.
Exactly. Exactly.
I never noticed. I mean, part of it, honestly, as far as things working, is the hundreds of bug fixes. As 1.6 really got out there with people, we've done some major work stabilizing things, getting all the edge cases dealt with, the lip sync tuned in much more. Just we've really beat up on the functionality. And then, as you were saying, the Verto communicator, we've added half a dozen features. We've added multi-canvas conferencing support, output device selection, better presenter and moderator controls, entire system for bandwidth checking to help automatically set up the right settings for, intervention list just works right kind of behavior.
Internationalization.
A preview camera window that lets you pick the right helps you pick the right devices. And this week we added internationalization, and in 24 hours I think we had a dozen different translations. So Verto communicator works in English, French, Spanish, German, Italian, Chinese, Portuguese. What else am I missing? Thai, maybe? Swedish?
How is that? How is that? Because you got a bunch of people translating the prompts and things, different texts, or what?
Yeah,
I mean,
we crowdsourced it from the community.
Right. So
we sent out some emails and Facebook posts, and 24 hours later, we had everyone coming out of the woodworks wanting it to work native in their language. So
right, because you have a huge international user base, obviously, and that enabled that. And that's fantastic. I think that's great.
Yes, brilliant.
So
I've got another question for you. Who from the FreeSWITCH team is going to be sent as the ambassador over to England after ClueCon to come to Hacklands at the farm?
Hacklands, yes.
Who's it going to be?
at the farm?
Yeah. You come,
Do I
Michael.
get to fly back with you, James?
Sorry?
I think we'll volunteer. I think we'll volunteer, Mr. Jarris. I was asking if I get to fly back with you.
Well, you could do if you want. Or it could be Kathleen.
Is that business class?
You could, but you'll have
Business
to buy a
class?
British Airways flight because James doesn't fly anything else. Kathleen, I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of fun.
Does that mean if Kathleen does it? If Kathleen does it, can we get TruePhone to get her an iPhone?
Only one?
I think she's the only one on the team that doesn't have an iPhone.
Oh, well, we're going to sort that out then, aren't
Keep
we?
trying to convert me.
She doesn't have a Mac laptop either, so.
James never travels with less than 4 or 5 iPhones at any one time.
And no less than 300 Sims.
Yeah, he's holding them
You
up.
terrorist, you. Well, the hotel looked at me like I was crazy, and I said, don't underestimate our people showing up with 10, 12 devices each. And she goes, that's not possible. I said, no, we got one that'll probably show up with like 25 or 30 in one pocket.
She didn't believe it was possible, and Brian
She
started
didn't
pulling
believe
out
it.
all of his little gadgets
She
and
didn't
gizmos.
believe it. She didn't believe it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go and see this young lady when I arrive.
I'll be sure to set up a meeting.
Sounds good.
So, is there any other? I mean, I got a whole list of other new features. Is there any other ones we want to highlight?
Well, can't you just show us rather than talking about it? Demonstrate it. I mean, this is the VUC. We don't just do talk. We just want to show people.
Show you the music on hold video support.
Oh no!
So be careful with that.
You're right.
Be careful with that.
Good. Time now for a little bit of electric church music. Yeah, that's how the band like to call their music. And the band, the Jimi Hendrix.
Don't put any bands on.
No. Better not put that on.
We knocked off.
You better stop it before the YouTube gets bad.
That's very bad. Oh no!
Yeah, we were testing. Ken was doing some tests of YouTube, just short clips and old music, and they all got flagged within like 20 minutes of ending, and as copyright violations. They were all private, so it was so you got to be careful when you're testing.
It was private too. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
it wasn't. It was whole video. It was whole videos though.
Yeah, somebody needs to do one of those stereo test sequences where you have somebody marching from your right ear. I'm now in your right ear, and I'm now marching across to your left ear, or that kind of thing, with silly noises.
We have one of those.
Oh, do you? Well, can you demonstrate?
We have one of those around here somewhere. I don't know if it'll translate over to the ZipDX because they don't do stereo.
And then you've got your favorite, like.
The resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. 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 Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's awful.
That's for videos.
I was
he was demonstrating the seeking of the video file.
Right, which window am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at Ken. Guys, look at all those buttons. Where did they all come from?
Yeah.
They're all new. They're all new.
So this is the part of what we were talking about, the expanded moderator features inside the client. So you can now mute, unmute, do volume and gain settings, transferring, floor control. And you can also tweak the banners, the text banners.
Oh, I like that. And I like the fact that you've got the energy halo thing when somebody's speaking, and the floor indicator. That's nicely done.
The halo is red when they're muted.
Yeah, and when somebody's not behaving the way they should be, we can always don't wander off, Brian. We can always go, oh, bye. Oh, I think he just got kicked. Oops.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, I did.
You did not.
He'll call back in a moment, cursing.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, did you unlock the? There we go.
Yeah, I unlocked it. It's unlocked now.
Oh, Brian.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So James, not only does it turn green when you're talking, it turns red when you're muted, like Ken.
Right, Ken is muted. Wonderful. He's going to unmute himself in a second.
Now.
Right, there
He
we
is
are.
going to unmute himself.
Oh, here's Mr. Tag.
And this control is actually camera mute.
You have to come around here. Mr. Tag says hello, waving to all of us.
Mr. Tag. Hello, Mr. Tag.
Wave.
Hello back.
He's just walked past with
Also, you
carrying,
see the,
carrying a drone. He's wandered off carrying a drone, so he's just planning to put together a demo which does FPV, first person viewer, over LTE. And the idea, I think, is that we're going to take it across international borders to demonstrate how we can re-provision the SIM card on the fly. Ha ha ha. Whilst in flight. Oh, it's wasted, isn't it?
Speaking of LTE and SIM card,
What?
I do still have these.
Oh, good. Does it work? Oh.
That's what I was going to ask.
Oh, yeah, 4G.
I'm still waiting on TruePhone.
4G is just going live in the States, even as we speak. So,
I think it is actually live now, James.
is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, William, can you plug your thing in and see whether you get 4G on that thing? I'd be interested to find out. Because I'm not in.
Let's just see if it just plug and play and works.
Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm looking in now. In there.
Please hold while I process that request.
Which reminds me, just looking at Zura, do you know that Mr. Dunkley got married last weekend?
Yes, I saw that. I saw that.
Mrs. Dunkley, and I'll tell you what, she's wonderfully geeky. She's really good news.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Oh, there's something else, James, I forgot to tell you. There's absolutely one more thing I forgot to tell you. We had Kathleen and I had a phone call with a hotel, RE Roof Access.
Roof access.
As in where we can put antennas.
Right. Well, strangely enough, we're planning to deploy not one, but two, possibly three mobile networks at Hacklands. And by the time we come to Chicago, the licensed shared access band, the 3.5 gig TDD LTE band, that's band 42, should be operational in the US. So anybody who wants Spectrum can kind of get it. So yeah, and you can run quite reasonably high power levels on that.
What devices support that one?
Well, the new Nexus should, new Google handset.
Awesome.
Well, look, there's Mrs. Jerris just arrived, I think. Looking very businesslike. Cool. The quality of your conference, you know, chaps, is absolutely stunningly good. I can see everything that's going on this in this conference. Like, what are all those machines over William's shoulder? What's going on there?
These?
Yeah. What are all those?
He's cracking iPhones with them. He's doing the FBI a favor.
Just some fun cluster stuff with FreeSWITch to potentially be announced at ClueCon or next year's ClueCon.
Wonderful.
Something about using FreeSWITch in a very large clusters, making things very simple.
Oh, we like that. Yeah, we definitely like that because I can think of a number of immediate uses for a clustered, well, a free switch cluster. Well, there are lots of them, aren't there? Anyway, I'm burbling. Tell me a little bit more about the hotel this year, because it's a different hotel, isn't it, Brian?
Yes, it's the Swiss Hotel. They have stuck us in the dungeon. It is 2 levels below ground.
Oh, that'll be good for mobile coverage, won't it?
Well, I'm actually working on that right now. I may have to make a trip to Chicago and twist some arms next week.
So
on the flip side, they're giving us a lot more space than we've had previously.
Yes, that is a plus. They're giving us a bunch of space.
So put us all downstairs and lock the doors so we can't get out or something like that.
I'm not too sure. I think it might be a little bit of both at this point.
Hey Ken, we may have a method that doesn't involve locking doors, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll we'll have some fun things at ClueCon this year. That's for definitely sure.
God, I'm looking forward to.
So Mr. Bodie, when you get to ClueCon, you're going to help me with my dangerous demo, right?
Yeah, well, I want to help Anthony with his dangerous demo because last year we invented a special class of prize for Anthony, the Swan Prize, and what happened? Tim Panton won it. I mean, how did that happen?
It was fixed, I say.
It was fixed.
I lost the dangerous demos at Astrocon as well, but I think I lost that one purely because the audience probably didn't grasp what I was showing off.
Yeah, it was very
to the extent that what it was.
50% packet loss with Opus. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's very much the case, Brian. Nobody really understood what you were doing. They didn't understand the complexity of it.
But that's what good technology is all about.
Do we want to do that demo again, or is the news passed on that one?
Well, the thing is, it
sounds like everyone already.
One of those that appeared not to be dangerous because it just kind of worked.
And quite honestly, I do have AT&T LTE to thank there in Orlando. I had 130 megabits down and 20 megabits up, tethered to my laptop with USB cable. I saw the exact same kind of speed in Atlanta, Georgia, as well. I don't know. AT&T needs to get that here. You know, that's some awesome speed to have in your pocket.
Yep.
There's a hamburger on the FreeSWITCH on the ClueCon website.
What's going on there? Oh, it's making me feel hungry.
So, James, we can count on TruePhone this year for sponsorship at ClueCon?
Well, we'll definitely be there. I think you can count on us to do some kind of sponsorship. I mean, the problem is everybody wants us to everybody wants us to sponsor this, that, and the other, and yeah, it's tricky. But yeah,
you could sponsor the VUC.
Are we still?
You just tell them. That's true.
We're still live, aren't we? In which case, I couldn't commit.
Yeah. What will you do? Well, you just gotta tell them, James. You're going back to your roots of where all this started, and FreeSWITCH is one of them.
Yeah, you were there at the very, very beginning of TruePhone, weren't you? They were happy days.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, Michael and Brian at
in the couch shed.
In the cow shed. Yeah.
Yep.
And then moving up to London.
So I have an update on the TruePhone 4G.
Yeah. What have you got?
I've got an update on the TruePhone 4G. So it appears to be at least pinging the tower, so says my Linux machine, but I need the basic number, user, password, and APN, etc.
TruePhone.com is the APN. Just truephone.com.
Okay.
That's all you need. No authentication required, because that's done at a lower level. No need to authenticate twice. Will it work? This is almost a dangerous demo. Totally unrehearsed.
This is commercially dangerous, this demo.
Is that animated box thing opening its lid in time with the energy on the conference?
Watch Anthony and it at the same time.
Oh, it's synchronized with Anthony's head. So how do you make the tail move, Anthony?
Best we don't ask about that.
That's a secret.
Stop waving that tail around. Oh, much safer.
Yeah. There you go. Does anybody have any questions for us? I mean, we're all here. Now's a good time to ask.
There must be somebody alive on ZipDX somewhere. And look, we've got Tim here, who, in the absence of anybody else, is pretty good at those long, rambly questions that may or may not be questions. Here he comes. Here he comes. Mute is off.
I think Tim has some.
Tim's profile picture looks maniacal.
Especially for having a problem with bandwidth too.
Brian, did you reserve your Tesla last night?
Yes, I did. I did. Now I'm going to wait 2.5 years to get it.
Congratulations. I'm sure you're going to love it.
Well, if it ever gets here, I don't know. We kind of know what it looks like. We don't know what it's going to look like 2.5 years from now because the Model X did change before the final production. So we will see.
The company's got a good track record, though. I'm sure Carl and his brother would speak to that because Carl's brother has had both the Roadster and the S.
I actually got mine booked 2 minutes before the actual official time, so it was pretty fun. We'll see what happens in 2.5 years.
Yeah, in 2.5 years the batteries will be better and whatnot. So
technology will be better, everything will be better. So it'll be cheaper, better, all of it, all around. So we'll just see how it goes.
2.5 year window, they should have the Gigafactory up and running. So
the Gigafactory is already running. If you watched the presentation last night, it is alive and running.
Oh, nice.
It is the second largest. It's the largest building. Volumetric behind the Boeing factory. Since the Boeing factory is taller, but it is the largest building area-wise.
Take that, Pentagon. Sorry. It also they said it creates more lithium-ion batteries than every other factory producing lithium-ion batteries in the world combined.
Yes, it is. It is the largest manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries. It's awesome. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, I'd like one of their domestic lithium-ion batteries. The house UPS.
Do you know they actually? They actually withdrew the offer of the larger one. The larger one wasn't particularly popular, so because there was a couple of different sizes, and the smaller one is the one that's moving out in numbers.
Yeah, I think the power one was a little. The large one was a little bit overrated, and it didn't have the specs that the smaller one had. And people figured out for the price tag, you could just put a couple of the smaller ones in and chain them together, and then end up with better specs than spending the coin on the
more redundancy.
Yeah. And fewer SKUs is better for any business, right? So.
Well,
Alright, anybody else have any other questions for us while we're all here?
I will say, or I'll tease one other thing right now. You might want to show up to ClueCon and you can figure out what this is for.
But turn it over. The other side.
You said turn it over, show us the other side, or does that give away what it is?
No, the other side is just the back side of the board.
It's a board,
and this is something that
not populated board.
This one's not populated. I'll give you a hint. This is not the first time that this board has been seen on the VUC.
Okay.
It looks like it could be a daughter card for a Raspberry Pi.
It might possibly be so.
Well, it is Funny Hat Friday, so there we go.
I must say, the Raspberry Pi 3, I was hoping that they would add PoE to the Raspberry Pi 3, but I guess I'm in the minority. So.
I would love to see PoE in Raspberry Pis.
You can actually get RPIs with PoE, but you're going to spend about $100,000 US getting them to do your custom run without buying any of them.
Well, they had the little daughter card for it, but you start stacking up daughter cards and it gets complicated trying to build a case and whatnot.
Well, no, you can actually Premier Farnell, who actually manufactures the RPIs for the RPI Foundation, and for everybody else for that matter. They will actually customize them for you, change connectors around, do custom layouts, that sort of thing, and add things like PoE. But it is quite expensive unless you're going to be ordering 1 million of them. And I do mean numbers in the millions. But this group here is actually 4 RPI 3s and an RPI 2. And so the form factor has stayed the same, but if you can see it here on camera right under the finger, that is the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi chips antenna. And they did add in Bluetooth LE, so you can do all kinds of fun stuff with these things now without having to add anything except for power.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little thing you said
there.
there.
PoE is the only thing that PoE is the only thing that would have made a lot of sense, but if it adds 25 cents to the device, it's expensive.
Yeah, and they're already pushing close to their maximum BOM cost on what they're doing here without having to raise that price from the $35 price point.
Yeah, the trouble I have with it is that the micro USB power connector is flaky. I would rather power it by a locking connector.
Yeah, you can. So that's what a lot of people end up doing, is just backfeeding power through pins 1 and 3. Pins 1 and 3 on the GPIO connector, because that's connected directly to the 5-volt rail that you get on the micro USB power.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can feed right in. So you can do a PoE daughter card?
Yeah, you can do a PoE daughter card, or you can do an external PoE injector. So one of the things that this is actually, a little show and tell real quick. This is actually the official, 7-inch touchscreen from the RPI Foundation, and as you can see, it's even got the little logo on the back of it here. But this little pin header here is for actually taking, either feeding this display with 5 volts off the GPIO header, or you can see the little micro USB connector here, and that's for feeding power in, and then you can feed the power back out of the pin header, or they included a little USB port over here for jumping down to the Raspberry Pi. So there's a lot of different options there. I think the only thing that's really still missing from it, and you'd have to add it on a daughter card, would be like a battery charge controller and something to shut the Pi down with the soft button, or an interrupt driven kind of thing. But people are working on those things externally. Yeah, Wake Online. You can't really do that.
Battery and charger and PoE and Wake on LAN support and all of that all on one little daughter card.
Yeah, you can get fancy with it. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do here, and people are getting real fancy with them. I mean, I've got.
There you go.
You can't see it here. I can't move the camera around there.
There's the hi-hat
but
thing.
I've got a pair of them sitting behind my camera here, driving 3D printers, for instance, as a old school print server. I've got another one that sets out in the shop that drives the CNC machine. So I can be lazy, sit on my butt in the office, and basically quick print and have stuff like this spit out.
Now you're showing off again, aren't you?
Yeah. So
if you can do all of that, why don't we have a FreeSWITCH phone yet? It'd be a pie inside a custom plastic case, right?
Well, you mean like this?
Yeah.
So you can,
ClueCon this year.
We'll have some more of these. We'll have some more of these at ClueCon for everybody to play with the software on them and everything. But you see this little card right here, and you'll notice there's a bunch of edge connectors on it. It's a little hard to see on video, especially with the bright plastic. But that is specifically so you can hook up things like this LCD, and we've kind of talked about this before on the VUC in the past, and things like DTMF pads or maybe even line keys, stuff like that, and still have a touchscreen display. And this is actually a camera. To give you an idea what that camera might look like. Here's one without the touchscreen installed in it, and I did 3D print this. And there's your camera module. And you can see that just to grab a good old-fashioned American penny for scale, you can get the idea of the size of it.
Sweet.
Okay.
So these are going to be available before long. We'll have a lot more information as we get closer to ClueCon on these.
As we finish making them work properly.
Yeah, exactly.
And as I was about to say, this is the site freeswitch.com. I would have guessed freeswitch.org. I guess they're all connected. And you can go.
We have it as well. We have freeswitch.org.
I know. And you can go there and go to check out for all the information on ClueCon is there. There's a banner and you can click on it. But you can also know everything you ever wanted to know and more about FreeSWITch, about the team and everything else. There's a whole contact us, home, open source, platform and support, commercial modules, consulting, ClueCon, support, contact us. I think I said that already. Account, you can sign in. There's just so much to discover here, and you've had a little bit of a sample of who these people are. I'm going to put them back on now and stop sharing. Okay, stop presenting. And we are looking at them now. And I want to say goodbye to everybody. Hey, thank you all. We're always pleased to have you. Whoops, I lost you for a second. Everybody, Ken, Brian, Kathleen, William King, Michael, and who am I forgetting? Oh, Anthony, of course. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. So, right, who's going to represent you at the Oscars now? Go ahead.
Yeah, Anthony's being noisy again.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us in, Randy. You guys are always welcome to join us. We're more than happy to join in on the VUC. It's always good to talk to you, Michael, the rest of the crew, Andy, James, JB over there, and everybody else, Tim Panton. So you guys let us know if you want to have us back, or if there's any topics that you guys are going to have and you need a peanut gallery. We'll be more than happy to join in. And,
or if you guys want to do a presentation on our Wednesday ClueCon Weekly show. It's kind of like ClueCon online.
Like 1 week we should do that, and the next week we should have you on, and that way we'd have a rotation. Anyway, always happy to have you, and you know that if you have anything to announce or anything you want to do, you have a platform with us. I'm going to stop the broadcast. We're going to go to the mature audiences only version. Kathleen, you have to turn your thing off now because you can't. And we will check you all later. Thanks, everybody. Oh, by the way, go to here's something you might want to see. We have like 205 videos. This has been one of them, but we have hundreds, over 200 videos from our meetings, and if you want to check them out, go to vuc.me or go to I don't know where you go. Go to vuc.me. Go to live.vuc.me.com. Here's oh, look at this person is okay. Go to go to live.vuc.com, and you'll be able to see the last 200 of the 210 or so videos. Here he is. He's pleased. No. Should we terminate with that? All right. No, I'd rather terminate with this. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.